Okay, 1 billion comparisons. So first comparison is Action5 to Sony ZV-E10 II, and both are in normal color profile. And yeah, it's like auto exposure plus 0 EV, so to be fair. And Action5 is rock steady stabilization. You can see actually the lens of the Sony. Unfortunately, there is no way to do it differently. The lens would be always in the shot. And actually I'm checking what is the stabilization, what is the image quality, and I'm in the forest because it's the most annoying thing for action cameras, the leaves. And it's a gloomy day, so maybe not much of the test of the the dynamic range, but other than that. And I'm recording on DJI Mic 2, but I'm also testing all. But I'm also testing the quality of the sound. Sony have the noise reduction on. I'm recording on the front mic. I got the dead cut on the camera, and then I will switch to log because I guess the log would look better. And it's auto white balance, auto exposure on every camera I would test, and I would have also OM5. I would have also Go3 and Pocket 3. I will switch in a second to the log profile, maybe also test the Action5 with wider field of view. But I think that for this scenario Rocksteady is enough, so I wouldn't test Rocksteady Plus. And there are different lighting conditions. Now I'm out, but there is no direct sun, but I'm not in the shadow anymore, so I wonder how the auto exposure works. And I'm not ninja walking, I'm just walking normally. I'm in the forest, so it's really uneven terrain, and we'll see how the stabilization works. When I tested the ZV-E10 II, I was kind of surprised how good the stabilization is, and I think I have it off at the moment, so maybe I should turn it on, because that was kind of suspiciously wide. Okay, now the stabilization is on, so now there is a difference between the field of view of these two cameras. This one is like, I don't know, 12 or 11 millimeters in that mode, and Sony is 24, so definitely much narrower. And 24 for me is too tight. So it is 12 millimeters lens. There is 1.5 crop on Sony, so it becomes 18 millimeters, and then there is 33% crop for the active stabilization, so it becomes 24 millimeters. But I have this on the small Joby tripod, so it's a bit extended, and my hand is fully extended at the moment, so this is the widest I can go with Sony. And on the Action5 it is the narrowest actually. So now I will stop recording and switch to log. Okay, so now both cameras recording log. There is active stabilization on Sony. I have my hand almost fully extended, and actually standard mode on Action5 is 15 millimeters equivalent. So it is still standard mode, D-Lock M, and I got -2 to sharpness, -1 to noise reduction, and on the Sony I got +1.7 exposure to expose correctly the S-Lock. And yeah, it's hard to say on these small screens, but definitely the Action5 is wider, so I will switch in a moment. Both are in log, and what the problem with log is on Action 5 that, I mean, it's on Pocket 3, not sure it is also on Action 5, so I will check this, that in log it does not auto expose for the face, but it auto expose for the whole scene. And on Sony, in theory, that should auto expose for the face, because I got this turned on, but I'm not 100% sure it's true. So yeah, we'll see. Okay, so I thought it's all, but now it is Action 5 at the wide setting, so it is 12 millimeters equivalent, and Sony is still with active stabilization, so it is 24 equivalent, and I got my hand extended to like 2/3 of the distance. It's not fully extended, but quite extended, and yeah, it's definitely wider, and I think for vlogging, the wider the view is, the better. So I think that the Action cameras are the best vlogging cameras, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't care about this like background separation for vlogs like that, but you may have different idea, you may have different opinion about that. So in my opinion, the Action 5 might be the best one, but what is worth noting that for vlogging any camera will do. The most important is the sound quality. So if you got good sound, then you can record with even 5 years old camera. It doesn't matter, it could be HD. I mean, I would probably go HD the lowest, but probably any phone will do if you got some good mic. So like this DJI Mic 2 is quite good in terms of sound quality. So yeah, it's not that you need like Action 5, you can go with Action 3, and you don't need ZV-E10 II. You can have like Sony A6400 or ZV-E10 Mark I, and you will be fine. Although ZV-E10 Mark I got crappy stabilization. So yeah, I guess the most important for vlogging is good audio quality and then quite good stabilization, and other than that it doesn't matter that much. So I will switch now in Action 5 to ultra wide. So now Action 5 is ultra wide, and it is equivalent of 11 millimeters. It is quite wide, which I like, and this is still equivalent of 24, so really tight, and my hand is already tired. But I will test the OM5 in a second, which is also quite heavy. But I would like to turn into the forest to see how the Action 5 keeps up with the leaves, and because at the moment there is only low bitrate codec. They promised in the firmware update there would be new bitrate, but it's not yet available. Should be a turn into the forest. But with this, I wonder about the exposure, because on Action 5 my face seems to be quite dark. So maybe I will switch for the normal mode for a second to see if there is a difference in the exposure. Now ultra wide, and it seems that there is different exposure with the normal color profile. Like my face is brighter and the exposure haven't changed, so that the sun is under the clouds. So I know this lens in the shot is kind of annoying, but if you got two cameras on the bracket, it is what it is. And here is the trail, so I can turn into the forest. So maybe I will switch back to log, and we'll see how that behaves in the forest. Okay, and also you have to remember that you have to change the settings for every picture profile in Action 5, so sharpness and noise reduction. And I can see that I'm really dark, so it seems that D-Log M does not expose for the face. I'm really dark, and the sky is really bright, so I guess I will switch again to normal to see it. This is better. Yeah, so it seems that normal mode exposes for the face, because I can see that the sky is now blown out. It tries this HDR trickery to like expose the sky also properly, but I think my face is brighter now. I get sun shining into my face, so this is different exposure than before. But it seems that for D-Log M it does not expose for the face, which is kind of lame, but it is what it is. I guess I will switch to D-Log again to see, but yeah. So I'm in D-Log again, and the sun is directly shining on my face and it looks okay now. Hard to say. I mean, there is smaller difference between my face and the sky behind me, so that's why. But I think, and D-Log M, this does not expose for the face. This the same for Pocket 3, but yeah, okay. So I will turn around and see what happens if I got the sun behind me, and it doesn't seem to impact the both cameras actually. And still it is, maybe I should have it in that hand so you can see this, the sun is on the sky, and it is D-Log M on Action 5, and it's hard to judge on this small screen if the exposure is correct on my face or not. I can see that the footage on Sony ZV-E10 II is a bit washed out because this lens is prone to losing contrast when there is a direct source of light hitting it. So yeah, now the sun went under the clouds again, so it's hard to test something today, but it's better than nothing. So I guess I would switch to OM5 now instead of Sony. Okay, now it is Action 5 in D-Log M versus OM5 in OM log, and I'm not sure it exposes for the face, but it definitely have face recognition and focus on my face. The lens is 9mm, so it is 18mm equivalent, and it is with active stabilization on top of IBIS, because that's the only stabilization that works correctly with that lens. So I'm not testing any other stabilization mode on OM5. And this is flat profile, which is kind of weird because it's less flat than OM400 profile, and Action 5 is ultra wide in D-Log mode. And actually my face looks kinda properly exposed. I got sun to my right, but it is under the clouds, and I'm in the forest, and I wonder if Action 5 footage falls apart because of the low bitrate or not. There are plenty of leaves, although they are not moving. It's not windy, so. And of course the OM5 is wider than ZV-E10 II because it's like 22mm equivalent with active stabilization, so this looks like that it's wider. My hand is like extended to two-thirds of its length, and it is quite heavy. I guess it's the same weight as Sony ZV-E10 II. So on each setting Action 5 would be wider. This is 11, with wide is 12, and with standard is 15mm, so that would be wider than OM5 in this setting. So I will maybe swap the profile on OM5 and see if there is any difference. Now it is OM400 picture profile, which is also log. The other one's supposed to be flatter, but this one is flatter. It's really weird, and I don't know how to set the fixed ISO. Maybe I have to click here, Not really. I don't know, the ISO is auto ISO and I couldn't find that option in OM5, but probably it's my fault because all these menus are different. And yeah, it's still on ultra wide. Maybe I should switch to wide on. I wonder if I can do it during recording. Not. Okay, I switched to standard actually to have 15 millimeters, and it is still wider than OM5's 22 millimeters of OM5. So I will turn around and have the sun behind me a bit, but it's under the clouds, so it's not that easy to check the dynamic range today, but I'm mostly interested in the stabilization. I think that Action5 would have good stabilization, but there might be really bad artifacts because of the low bitrate of the footage. Although, as I said before, it doesn't matter that much what is the quality of the footage actually. I mean, if you got an option for the same price, have better quality, then yes, but the most important is good sound, which is recording on the external mic, and also good stabilization, because it's hard to watch the footage which is not really stabilized. You can like puke. So still Action5 is with the lock profile, and then I will switch, I think I will switch to Pocket 3 now and test this into this scenario, because the Pocket 3 actually has amazing picture quality even in the shadows, even with the foliage, because the stabilization is mechanical, so there are no weird artifacts in the leaves. So yeah, the OM5 is not bad, but also the bitrate is kind of lame. It's like 80 megabits or 86 megabits per second, so it is quite lame compared to Sony ZV-E10 II, and also it is 8-bit, so in theory Action5 might have even better color quality, but we'll see later. And the advantage of OM5 is that you got, first of all, you got autofocus, so if I do that, I still have focus on my face. Not sure about Action5. Some users claim that you are out of focus all the time because the focus is on infinity. And another thing is that you can change the aperture, so you have the background separation like that, and also you can have everything in focus. So yeah, that's the Pro, and it is weather sealed. It have IP rating of IP54, as if I remember correctly, so quite good, but it's not waterproof like Action5, so it's the totally different story. Yeah, so that's the comparison between Action5 and OM5. I'm not trying normal picture profile on OM5 because the lock works fine, so it's compared to lock on Action5. What is important is the stabilization, and I still wonder if Action5 exposes for the face in lock or not. Okay, now it is Action5 versus Pocket 3, and I got tracking on Pocket 3 because it's much taller, so it was like filming my forehead only. So I turned on the tracking and I'm recording in D-Log. I'm on both at the moment, and I got sun behind me. And the thing is that on Pocket 3 you don't have this color something that you can like see the footage, how it will look when you apply the LUT. I have this on Action5, and actually now the sun is out, so maybe I will see if I turn around, but actually there is also a shadow. Yeah, we'll see. I wonder about the face exposure. So looks like they do not expose for the face, but it's hard to say. So I'm going to be in the sun, and sun, yeah, I will have it behind me, and yeah, I doubt it's exposed for the face. Like, my face is really dark on both of the cameras, but maybe Action5 looks a bit better, but hard to judge. Hard to judge. So yeah, so what happens if I turn around? Then it seems like I'm overexposed, so I will switch to normal picture profile to see if they expose for the face, especially in this scenario, because now I doubt they expose for the face. Even though there is a face tracking, my face is really dark, especially on the Pocket 3. So let me switch to normal mode and see. So this is normal mode on both, but Osmo is 8-bit in normal mode and Action5 is 10-bit. I mean, I set 10-bit because you can set 8 or 10 bits. So I got 10 bits on Action5 and 8 bits on Pocket 3. And now, what is the exposure? I think it might be better actually on Pocket 3, but I'm not sure about the Action5. I think it's the same. Like, my face looks like exposed almost properly on Osmo Pocket 3, and on Action5 it's really hard to say. So I guess now I will enter so this is the sun shining to my face. This normal picture profile on Action5 looks really HDR-ish, and I will now enter the shadow to see what happens. And the sky is exposed correctly on both, and now I'm in the shadow, and it seems that my face is exposed correctly on Pocket 3. I'm not sure about the Action5. The screen is small. It depends if I'm in total shadow or there is some ray of light, but this is normal picture profile. So I will swap again to D-Log M and see if they expose correctly for the face. But yeah, that's interesting. I still think that in D-Log they do not expose for the face, they expose for the scene, but maybe I'm wrong. So D-Log M on both. I will again enter the sunny area and then go into the shadow to see about the exposure. And again, when the sun is behind me, definitely Pocket 3 does not expose for the face. My face is totally underexposed. And let's see what happens if I go into the shadow. So both are in D-Log M, and Action5 is in standard field of view, and I think that Pocket 3 does not expose for the face in D-Log M, and same for Action5. But I might be wrong. Maybe if I apply the LUT or apply the color transform, it would be better. And the difference is also that on the screen of Action5 I'm monitoring with the LUT, so that's a bit different than that's the bit different look than on Pocket 3, because Pocket 3 in D-Log just shows log footage, so it is washed out. And yeah, if the sun is shining on my face, the exposure is quite good, but if I'm in the shadow, I don't know, it's really hard to tell. But now the question is about the stabilization, how good the stabilization is. There are leaves, maybe I have to shake them, hope I don't get any ticks. And there is no wind, but there are more leaves farther in front of me, so yeah, maybe I will switch also to wide to see. Let me check this. And yeah, I think that Action 5, if you just want one vlogging camera, the Action 5 would be the best choice, because it's smaller than Pocket 3, it is toughest, it is waterproof. My only complaint is that you can actually vlog when it rains, but probably this mic will be ducked up if you vlog in the rain. I vlog in the rain lately, but then I put it into the bag with these silica bags, so they suck any moisture out of it, and it works. But I wouldn't dare to do it daily. I wonder if there are some waterproof mics, probably, but not sure you can connect them to Action 5. I think it works only with the DJI mics, so that's a small bummer. So now Action 5 is in ultra wide and Pocket 3 is still Pocket 3, so same field of view. I think it's 20 millimeters equivalent, and this one is now 11. So I think for vlogging this is better, although it is distorted. So trees are no straight anymore, but for like riding a bike, this is nice because this creates this effect that everything moves really fast. And yeah, and that's the difference in the stabilization. Unfortunately, there is no wind, so the branches are not moving that much, but I guess the stabilization of Pocket 3 would be much better anyway. There won't be any artifacts. I don't know if there would be artifacts on Action 5, but there might be. I wonder there is also the zoom option on Action 5. I haven't tested this yet. Not sure it degrades the footage like on Pocket 3, or since the sensor is higher resolution, I think. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. So maybe it is still 4K, but I don't know. Yeah, now it's sun shining into my face. I wonder if they keep up with the exposure. But yeah. And what happens if the sun is behind me? The sun stars. There is a sun star on Action 5 because it's like, I don't know, fixed F8 or something. It says F2.8, but F2.8 regarding the light gathering, but I think it's 2.5 if the sensor is the same, so the crop factor is 2.5, so 2.8 multiplied by 2.5 is like almost F8, I think 7 and something. So yeah, and I think I lost the lens cap for my 9mm, so I guess I have to search for it. So I'm not moving from this place at the moment, but yeah, we'll see if I lost it or it was not in my bag already. I hope I haven't, because like it is Panasonic Leica lens, so probably the lens cap is like $100, so I would try to find it. Okay, so I'm switching to Go3, and I know what would be the result, Go3 versus this one, but I will compare all the field of views, and on Go3 I will only check the standard stabilization because I'm just walking, so I don't need any other stabilization. Okay, now it is Go3 versus Action5 Pro, and I can see that first of all footage on Go3 looks like crap, and second of all there is a delay on the screen, and I'm recording on both with a standard picture profile. So on Insta Go3 the picture profile does not seem like it does a lot, it just seems like the colors are different and like dynamic range is the same, if you can say there is a dynamic range. And there was a bee trying to land on Insta Go3, and I don't know which one exposed correctly for the face. Looks like Go3 might do it, and actually Go3 tracks my face. Not sure it's a relevant thing if like I'm out of focus, if I'm here, I don't know. But this is the standard picture profile on both, although on Action5 it is 10-bit, and now the sun is shining to my face. You can see this big cloud, and it is kind of exposed nice on Go3, but maybe the difference is that this is the bigger screen and the delay is atrocious on this screen. When I move my head, it moves into the different direction. So I'll go into the shadow with the normal picture profile, and we'll see if the exposure is okay. And yeah, like both got my face really dark even in the normal picture profile, because there is this white cloud in the background, so on the sky. So yeah, doesn't seem they exposed correctly. Like Action5 probably do it better, and it is ultra wide, so I will switch to like flat profile here and D-Lock M, and then test all the field of views. So at the moment this is ultra wide on both, and I think they also got wide, which is called Action on Insta Go3, and it is wide on Action5. So let me switch the picture profile. Okay, and Go3 takes like 2 seconds to start recording, because I can see there is a 2 seconds difference in the recording length. And now Go3 is flat, ultra wide, standard stabilization, and Action5 is rock steady and ultra wide 2 and D-Lock M. And let's check how this exposes my face. And actually the Go3 help on the screen says it is for the flat picture profile, is for more dynamic range and is exposing properly more dynamic the scenes which need more dynamic range. I'm not sure it's true, because my face seems to be now underexposed. But yeah, and I have to drink something, but I got my drink far away in my car. Anyway, it's ultra wide flat picture profile on Go3, and I'm going to the shadow. Now the sun is shining into my face, the bugs want to eat me, and ultra wide I will swap the and yeah, these white clouds are kinda good thing, because I can see like on Action5 my face is totally dark, and each of the cameras today they were on auto white balance, auto exposure. But for Sony, for S-Log3, I know that I have to add plus 1.7 EV, and that was the setting on Sony. The rest of them is or was on plus 0 EV, and actually for Pocket 3 it would be nice to set it on minus 0.3. And here still, like when my face is totally in the shadow, it doesn't seem to be exposed properly on Action5. So yeah, maybe on a bigger screen it would look better. Whenever there is the sun shining through the leaves on my face, it is exposed correctly, or when it is fully in the shadow, it doesn't look like it. So I'll swap the field of view now. Okay, the big plus of Action 5 is that it records immediately, although I think on both you can have pre-recording option, so it's not a big deal, but definitely Action 5 is less laggy. And I think that Action 5 was actually cheaper than Insta Go3, and now it is white on this and white on this. Both are in the log profile. This is flat, this is D-Log M. And I wonder about the, like, I know that Go3 is terrible in these settings, although today is quite sunny now because the sun is out. Before it was quite gloomy. So when the light is good, the Insta Go3 footage is okay, but it is not 4K, it is 2.7K. This is the maximum it can go. So it is already like less sharp, I would say, or less detailed. Like you can set the sharpness to be crazy sharp, but then it looks really artificial. So yeah, I will now swap to standard field of view and see. Like on the screen, it's hard to say which one is wider. Like this one, maybe it is. Yeah. And both got magnetic mounts, which are kind of annoying in a sense. So I guess, yeah, if I would choose, I would definitely choose Action 5 between those two. But there is a bird chirping. I don't know which one is that. Like probably the teeth. So let me swap to standard field of view. So it is standard on Action 5 Pro, linear on Insta Go3. That's all the names. So I hope my mic is still recording. It seems so. And I have to look for this lens cap. Yeah, so I will look on the way back. And I wonder if I had this lens cap. I think so. There is a shooting range close by, so you can also hear this. And I think on each camera I have a wind reduction turned on, so it would be like a mess to test also the sound quality. So maybe that would be, so maybe I would make a different test for the sound quality with wind reduction. But I know that Go3 got crappy wind reduction. I checked it before and it's not great. And for the Action 5, actually DJI mic records really good audio quality, so I'm not concerned about that. And I think when you record internally into the mic, the noise reduction or wind reduction or wind noise reduction is not applied, but it's applied into the recording to the camera. But maybe I'm wrong, I'm not sure. And now I have to look for the lens cap. It is somewhere here. Okay, I'm heading back to my car. The good news is I have found the lens cap. It was all the time in my bag, and unfortunately I haven't been able to attach this smaller selfie stick because it was too loose. It's like third-party one, so it doesn't fit the DJI mount that good. So you have these washers, which I included with the Action 5, but then it won't fit the Go3, although I probably wouldn't use Go3 that much, and I guess maybe I would sell it because the Action 5 seems to be much better. What is annoying about the selfie stick which is included in the adventure combo, that it got a bump, and if you grab it with your hand, it digs into your palm. And now I'm with rock steady and ultra wide, and I'm not sure I am exposed correctly because the sun is maybe not fully behind me, but it is like, no, now I'm like really dark, so this exposure is kind of crappy. I don't know how to fix that exposure. And what if I turn around, then I have proper exposure, and yeah, and I'm like totally dark. Yeah, this is not proper exposure in my opinion, so I guess I will swap to normal mode to see if it's any better. Yeah, normal mode exposure seems to be much better, which is weird. Crazy. Maybe if I apply the LUT in post, the D-Log M would be still okay, but now with the sun behind me or really bright sky behind me, it looks like the normal 10-bit is better. Maybe I'll extend the stick one more segment. And how long it is? It is very long, but now I'm not sure I'm in the frame. Now I got it extended by 2 modules, so it's 3 in total. And I think it's like this perspective, maybe I should keep it like higher. It's better for vlogging, and you can see that the exposure is quite weird. There are some overexposed parts on the sky, although my face is exposed better. And it depends if this bright part of the sky is in the frame or not. How do I make myself to roll of thirds, like maybe like that? Yeah, it's nice. Like generally the Action 5 seems to be really nice, but this exposure is sometimes really weird. So like now in normal mode it's not that bad, although it looks really HDR-ish, and with the D-Log M it doesn't look good. I will switch to D-Log M again. So D-Log M again, this white cloud is almost gone, but again when I have it in the frame, looks like my face is much darker than in normal mode, so it doesn't seem like it is exposing correctly. Yeah, but I guess for vlogging cameras the exposure should work from the get-go. You press record and exposure is correct, and now it is windy, but the leaves are not moving that much, maybe, so we can see if this low bitrate is really annoying on Action 5 or not. Now there is no wind, so it's not that easy to test, but it's getting cold. The weather forecast says it won't rain, but it looks like it will rain, so I guess it's better to move. But now my camera is fully waterproofed. All the non-waterproofed cameras are in the back, which is also waterproofed in theory. So I guess the first impressions of Action 5 are really positive, although there are some quirks like this exposure thing, and I don't know what else, and HDR-ish look in normal picture profile, although maybe 8-bit picture profile does not look that HDR-ish, so maybe I will switch to 8-bit to see, but it's hard to tell. And I got battery depleted for, I think I'm recording for more than 1 hour on this camera, and the battery is what, I don't know if I can see, 60%, so really good battery life on this camera. So yeah, let me switch to normal 8-bit. And of course when I switched, yes, it seems like this is 8-bit is also very HDR-ish, because I can even see some halo around the trees and around my head, or maybe I'm just dreaming, but yeah, and it's also hard to judge on this screen, but generally I'm quite happy about this, and maybe that would be my only action camera or vlogging camera. It's for sure much better for vlogging than Pocket 3, or like it's easier to use than Pocket 3 or Sony ZV-E10 Mark II or even OM5, because it's much smaller. It works with the DJI Mic 2 flawlessly, so you can record directly into the camera from the DJI mic. And actually I recorded something 2 days ago and I haven't applied any adjustment to the sound, recorded directly from DJI mic to Action 5, and it was quite okay, I'd say. So if you want to just vlog on a pinch, you can just turn this on, turn the mic on, and you can have this double recording, so you can record into the mic and record into the camera at the same time. And I think you got low cut into the recording into the camera, and the recording on the mic is without the low cut, but maybe I'm wrong. I know that there is a way to turn the noise reduction in the mic by pressing some key combination. I think that as far as I remember it, it's the case. So, and I'm not sure why I'm on this 8-bit picture profile, but I am. And yeah, but in terms of ease of use, in my opinion, Action 5 or Action 4 or probably also all GoPro cameras are better for such scenario. But what I heard that GoPro tend to hang up sometimes and freeze, so I guess for vlogging, Action 4, Action 5 are the best at the moment. And if you need two people talking, if this like multi-person vlog, like you got two talents, then Action 5 is better, because you can connect two DJI mics to the camera and have it recorded internally. So that's the big plus. And also battery life of Action 5 is much better. So yeah, that's the pros. Although the look is a bit HDR-ish, but I guess you can fix this in post. But if we are talking about a camera that you want to press record and just deliver this as fast as possible, so maybe Action 4 then would be better. But also with the D-Lock M, you just can apply single color transform or single LUT and you should be good to go. So, and what I've seen online also, that Action 5 like has more detailed footage, especially in this night mode or however it's called. So I guess if the Action 4 is not discounted that much, Action 5 would be a better choice. But I'm going home to compare the footage and see which stabilization is the best, if there are any artifacts on Action 5 and stuff like that. And we'll see if I'm right that this is the best choice or any other of the cameras would be better. One additional quick recording on Action 5. It is actually high-log gamma 10-bit picture profile, and I wonder if this have a better exposure for the face. Now I'm moving towards the sun, but sun is under the clouds, so not sure it would be a valid test. Like my face seems to be kind of pinkish or reddish, and when I turn my back to the bright sky, it's hard to tell. It looks a bit better than it looks a bit better than with D-Lock M, but I would judge on the bigger screen and see, and I think that might that maybe high-lock gamma profile is the best choice for quick delivery, like you press record and then you don't have to grade it, and it's still 10-bit, and it doesn't look that HDR-ish as the normal picture profile, but maybe I'm just wrong. Although my face look kinda reddish or pinkish, so it is definitely different colors than before. Yeah, so going home to check all the footage, and that would take a lot of time.